Are you ready? Because we're going 5 pounds down, and I've got a great 2,000 step cardio walk for us today. No equipment needed, so let's go. All right, beautiful bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving. And that means that we're getting started with some arm circles with high knees. You guys, welcome to the workout. I'm Pahla B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend. And around here, we are all about making peace with your menopausal body by finding a healthy weight and moving through the world in ways that feel like love. And do you know what feels like love? Losing weight with the 5-0 method. Oh my gosh, every single day we do 5 simple things that make you say, I had no idea that it could be this easy to lose weight. That's the O part of the 5-0. Every single day we eat the right number of calories, which is not necessarily less than you've been eating. We also drink the right amount of water, which is half your body weight in pounds in fluid ounces of water. We also get the right amount of sleep, which means going to bed at the same time every night, getting up at the same time every morning, and not worrying about how much in between that was actual real life sleep. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. Every single day we exercise moderately, which is not necessarily more than you were doing before, and in fact might be less. And the most important part, every single day we manage our minds by finding our thoughts and deciding if they're helpful for getting us where we want to go. You guys, I have a helpful thought for you today that is something that I have been working on a lot lately, and I just want to give you a quick little warning that today we're going to be talking about some kind of heavy topics, really specifically loss. And if that's not where you are, that's not what you want for your morning workout. If it's like 5 a.m., I totally get it. I have so many other walking workouts. If this one doesn't suit you today, in fact, I will have here on screen, I will have like the playlist for walking workouts. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes, because welcome to my home. I don't want to ruin your day. I don't mean to do anything other than have a conversation about this helpful thought and how it's been affecting me lately. Our helpful thought is I am allowing lots of things in my life right now. And we're going to talk about some of those things. We're going to go for a great walk. Oh my gosh. This one's going to be super fun. It's going to be the exact pace that's perfectly right for you. I've got the intervals set for 1 minute of walking and 30 seconds of other low impact cardio. Absolutely no jumping, no transitions to the ground. Easy peasy, as I like to call it, lemon squeezy. Hey, let's go ahead and get going with some walking. My friends, this is a whole minute interval, which is kind of a long time to be walking like in one place. I mean, my carpet right here, the rug, actually it's not carpeting, it's rug, has a worn spot or a flat spot of where I am always walking in place. I want you to know you can walk up and down your hallway, you can walk forwards, you can walk backwards, you can walk side to side. I want you to make sure that this workout feels amazing for you. Sometimes just being in one place doesn't feel amazing, and it's always my goal for you to feel amazing, my friends. Hey, when it beeps, we got plenty of time, but when it beeps, we're doing Daybreaks, which means that we're gonna have our hands overhead, swinging from side to side while we're tapping our feet gently from side to side. I call them Daybreaks because they remind me, they remind me of not the song specifically, but of a memory I have about singing that song, the Daybreak song by Barry Manilow, where it was me as a kid with my brother and my sister and my cousins in my Aunt Marty's teeny tiny little car, singing along at full volume, as one does when one is a huge Barry Manilow fan. My Aunt Marty was actually, I know that she was actually the president of somebody else's fan club. Gosh, okay, let's go in the Wayback Machine. Do you remember Days of Our Lives? Like way back in the 70s and 80s? I'm sure it's still on, maybe. When it beeps again, by the way, we're going back to walking. There is no repeating today. But my Aunt Marty was actually the president of the Wally Kurth fan club. I don't remember what his character was on Days of Our Lives. This is super interesting to me and only me. But I wonder, can't remember what his name was. I think she might have been the president of the Barry Manilow fan club too at one point. My Aunt Marty was a big fan of things. She had so much enthusiasm for life. She was so much fun. Not the point of what we're talking about today at all. But it's just fun for me to just walk down my own memory lane sometimes. You guys, when it beeps again, we're going to be doing toy soldiers with just both hands up, reaching your opposite hand towards your opposite foot. Hey, let's talk about allowing, and really specifically, let me tell you something in case you have not heard. I have talked about it on Facebook and a little bit here in some of the lives, but I have very recently lost both of my cats. And I know that for lots of you who love to watch, the background and stuff for the cats walking in and out, it's sad. It's sad. And I am working right now on allowing that space for those kinds of feelings, allowing myself to grieve. I tell you what, One of them was expected. Here we go with hands up, toy soldiers. One of them was expected. Rosie, my old cat, she was almost 18. She was an old lady. I was expecting her passing. Agatha was very young, very spunky, very full of life. And she got very sick very suddenly and was gone very quickly. And I have to tell you, I am struggling with that. Like it has been so much harder than I expected it to be. I think I have lots of reasons why I think it's much harder. Losing both of them, here we come back to walking, losing both of them, losing one of them unexpectedly. There's also been a lot of other upheaval, you guys. Again, here's everything you need to know about my life. We're doing lots of renovations. In fact, right now, while you're watching this, if you watch the day it comes out, my entire kitchen will be entirely destroyed. We're redoing the kitchen as well. We've just recently done both bathrooms. So I just had a lot of things going on that have been very different, very like mental work to get through that I am working on allowing. And this is why I wanted to talk about this thing. First of all, let me tell you what we're doing next. We're doing V squats, which means that we're making the letter V in the air while squatting in the middle. So we're starting off with both hands up in the air on one side, just doing a little squat in the middle. You don't even have to squat. As long as your hands are going up and down, that's still a cardio move. You always get to decide how much or how little squatting you would like to do. Some days what I'd like to do is none, right? So hands up on one side, down in the middle, and up on the other, up and down. 30 seconds, finding a pace that feels real good to you. Having your hands up brings your heart rate up. You are allowing your body to do what your body does, which is actually, that is part of my I am allowing. I've got a lot of different menopause symptoms going on right now, which I actually do think is related to grief. I do think it is related to change in my life. I'm noticing that here we come back to walking. I'm noticing that I've just got a lot more chatter in my head right now that I am working through, and everything feels just a little bit more stressful than I think it would if any of these things had happened one at a time. This is something that happens in life, you guys. Sometimes everything happens at once, and I know you know what I'm talking about. And so here's why I offer you I am allowing as a helpful thought. By the way, when it beeps again, we've got plenty of time, but we're doing washing machine front taps where we're kind of twisting from side to side while tapping if you're twisting one way, you're tapping that same foot out front. You're actually, okay, let me think about it this way. I need a mnemonic device. You know me. I need a mnemonic device for this. You're tapping the opposite foot from the opposite elbow. So whichever way you're twisting, whichever elbow is front, the opposite foot is also going to be tapping out. Does that make sense? Tap and tap. I'm actually doing a little bit of a heel dig there. Let me try that with a tap. It's so funny to put my toe first. You guys, I am allowing this to be awkward. I'm allowing this to feel like an exercise that I don't do very often because I don't do this very often. I am allowing so many things in my life, and I want you to know why we wanted to talk about this. Here I go. I'm going to tell you why we're talking about this, because when it beeps again, we're doing walking, so we've got plenty of time. I always think, that allowing is very passive. That when we allow something, we're just kind of rolling over. We're allowing things to happen. And I have to tell you, that has not been my experience at all. That allowing has actually been very active. Allowing something in my life actually requires me to hear all the resistance in my head. I will tell you, I have done lots of journaling, as I do. I journal every day anyway, so that's not the hard part. But I have been doing lots of journaling about all the thoughts in my head that are resisting. She shouldn't have died, this shouldn't have happened, everything is out of my control, everything is a mess, by the way, because it is. When it beeps again, we're doing low swinging heel digs, so I do get to actually dig my heel, as I was trying to do last time. Hands are just swaying from side to side, down nice and low, which is hence the low swinging part of that. Excuse me. And I say low swinging, even though your hands are actually going to get kind of high. It's just that they're not going up over your head. So you're putting one heel out at a time, swinging those hands, feeling super good. Having those hands comes up means that your heart rate is going to come up. Make sure that you're moving at a pace and with your hands at a place that feels feels good to you. You are allowing this workout to be what it is, and also you are in control of making it work for you. My friends, here's the thing about allowing, especially something that you don't want to allow. You actively have to release. Here we come back to walking. You actively have to release the resistance. When you don't want to allow something, as most of us don't, really, truly, here's why this is a helpful thought. Because so often we don't want to allow something, we have to actually consciously think, I am allowing this situation to exist in my life. And by allowing, I mean that I'm acknowledging that I hear a lot of resistance. I hear a lot of thoughts about how I don't want this. And I am actively, on purpose, intentionally, releasing those thoughts, recognizing them as unhelpful. Anything that I have to say about Agatha's passing or Rosie's passing or my bathroom's being a mess, by the way, when it beeps again, we're doing diving airplanes. Anything that is inside of me that is resisting those situations is just an argument with reality. Because here are the facts. Rosie is gone. Agatha is gone. My bathroom is a mess. Here's our diving airplanes. Hands out to the side. We can make airplane noises if we'd like to. It brings a little bit of levity to what feels like kind of a heavy topic today. My friends, I'm intentionally bringing kind of a heavy topic to you. Here's the thing. It makes a lot of sense to talk about helpful thoughts with weight loss and helpful thoughts about your life. But the fact is, so often we don't have helpful thoughts. We have resistance thoughts. We have anger thoughts. Here we come back to walking. We have unhelpful thoughts about everything. Everything. Not the least of which is loss. At this time in our lives, I mean, look around. We're losing things. Babies grow up. Parents go on. Animals go on. Things change in our lives. No matter how happy you are about some changes. I mean, I'm really happy about the bathrooms. I'm really excited about the kitchen. Like, you have no idea. But also, it is a loss to, well, give up control, frankly, and also have everything moved out of my kitchen, have everything moved out of my bathroom, have everything be different. I've lost something that I used to have. When it beeps again, we're doing punch, punch, kick. I'm gonna think about this. I'm gonna start punching with my right hand. Then I'm gonna punch with my left. Then I'm gonna kick with my left foot. Then I'm gonna punch with my left hand, punch with my right hand, and kick with my right hand. So you're going, or right foot. I'm not gonna kick with my right hand. You're going across your body, punch, punch, and kick, punch, punch, and kick. Somebody had a great mnemonic device for this, or just a way of thinking about it, that I should actually, I think, not do 2 punches first. You guys, you have the best suggestions. Honestly, you do. I have to tell you though, this one really specifically with the punch, punch, kick, I have worked so hard to be able to do this just mentally and physically. This is so much more coordination than my brain would do normally and naturally. I am allowing myself, coming back to walking, I am allowing myself to do it in a way that might be awkward for you, because it is slightly less awkward for me to do it the way that I do it. Because if I didn't do it that way, it'd be a million times worse. Have I told you how awkward I am? Like, for reals. Coordination, not my thing. There's a reason. There is a really good reason why I do not do any kind of dancing videos. Pahla, don't dance. It beeps again, you guys. We're gonna do big arm side shuffles, which is like one of my absolute favorite things. Gonna get in some good lateral motion. Gonna have big arms, making a nice big circle in front of us while we're shuffling over to the side. It's exactly what it sounds like. Big arm, side shuffle. We'll go back and forth. And really, truly, you are welcome to be going back and forth right now. Like I mentioned, I'm trying really hard not to walk in the indentation in my rug, but I mean, it's sort of inevitable. There's not a lot of space here. My friends, when you are allowing, here we go with those big arm side shuffles, when you are allowing something in your life that you would quite frankly rather not allow, it's not a simple matter of, oh, I'm going to put that out of my mind. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to allow. And the way that I'm going to allow it is to just grit my teeth and not do the thing that I want to do. That, in case you didn't notice it, is not actually allowing. Here's the thing about allowing things to exist. Let's go ahead and come back to a nice walk. When you truly, truly feel the allowing, it feels very calm. Now, I will tell you, when I use this phrase, I am allowing, I use it very sparingly because I'm frequently not allowing something. So I don't want to say I am allowing if what I feel is just constant resistance. What I often say is I would like to work on allowing. I am thinking about allowing. I am considering allowing. I'm allowing that there is the possibility of allowing this in my life. Because when you lie to yourself saying, I am allowing, but you are white knuckling it, it breaks down the trust that you have in what you are saying to yourself. Be willing to hear the fact that you're not allowing right now. It's totally okay. Here we go with rainbow frogs. My friend's hands going up overhead like a rainbow, 1 foot ribbiting out to the side, or one knee ribbiting up on one side and then ribbiting up on the other. Oh my goodness, I got going a little bit fast on this one. I'm going to bring it down just a little tiny bit. Hands go up, heart rate comes up, and we are, oh my gosh, we're getting down there on my list of exercises. That means, based on a little something called cardiac drift, that no matter how moderately you are taking this workout, here we come back to walking, your heart rate has come up. Now here's the thing. I'm also allowing my body to be menopausal. You'd like to fight that, wouldn't you? I would like to fight that, wouldn't I? I am noticing that it is not easy to allow, is really what I'm telling myself right now. Allowing my body to be menopausal means that I accept that things are changing, and sometimes I don't want to accept that. Sometimes I would really like it a lot if my body was not changing. Sometimes I would really like it a lot if I could still do the things that I could do 5-10 years ago. I would really like it a lot if I wasn't getting creepy skin on my arms. What if you forget, by the way, we're doing can-cans. It's a knee and a kick and a knee and a kick. And I'm laughing about that one because, okay, that one really specifically, the creepy arms, there's like a part of my brain that wants to resist that, and there's a part of my brain that is so fascinated watching my body change. Here's a can-can, it's a knee and a kick and a knee and a kick. And I'm really leaning into, as often as I can, some of my automatic thoughts are like, oh, I don't like it, oh, I wish. And then I hear that, I acknowledge them. Those are unhelpful thoughts. My body is changing. No point in arguing with that. Truly, the argument with that is the thing that makes me feel terrible. So tapping into this curiosity that I feel, like, oh, my skin feels different. It's very unusual. Here we come back to walking. It's very, oh, excuse me. I'm choking on allowing my body to change. Okay, so I am working on allowing my body to change. Okay, you know how when you were a kid, your grandparents were just always old? Like if you knew your grandparents or if you had a relationship with them. Like I remember my grandma, she was just always old. Like her arms were always soft and squishy. Her skin was always wrinkly. I don't remember a time when my grandma's arms didn't look, like raisins, like wrinkly. This is how I remember her. She was in her, oh geez. My peeps again. We're doing upside down jacks, and I'm gonna stop doing math in my head because she was not much older than me. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm 52. Okay, but I'm the youngest daughter of my grandma's not quite youngest. Here we go with upside down jacks. Okay, so my grandma was like in her late 50s, early 60s. That's a little bit older than me, but like not that much. Okay, I am allowing this to be what it is. I'm gonna have arms like my grandma's. And I know that, like there's a part of me that has always understood that, like even when I was a kid, I kind of always understood that this is the natural order of life, this is what happens, this is what bodies do. But like being in the middle of it and really, here we go back to walking, really watching and feeling my skin, specifically on my legs and on my arms, like feeling it wrinkle, feeling it get soft. It's so fascinating to me. It's just a whole other world. And so I'm trying really hard, not even trying. It's actually very easy for me to just tap into that curiosity. So I'm definitely allowing these things to happen because I'm like, what's it gonna do next? I personally, here by the way, when it beeps again, we're doing speed skaters, which I used to call swooshing skiers, and that's not a skiing move at all. So I've changed the name to speed skaters because we're going from side to side. We're making the infinity symbol with our hands, and we're swooshing from side to side, or speed skating. I say that like I was ever fast at skating. I have skated before. I used to love skating. I have never skated fast. No, I was far too terrified. Speaking of childhood memories, I loved to skate. Like I could skate backwards, I was that good. But also, here we go with our speed skaters. I wasn't that good. You guys, by the way, when it's done, but the next time it beeps rather, we are done. We're not quite finished. I've got a built-in finisher for. We're gonna just come right back to walking. I do have some very specifically balanced work for us to do. Next though, we're gonna slow it way down. So I'm actually gonna bring our walk down to a little bit, even more moderate than moderate, kind of a walk, so that we can bring our heart rate down just a little bit. You are welcome. If your heart rate feels perfectly fine, like you have excellent balance, good for you. Bully for you, my friend. We go back to walking. My balance today, I've already noticed, I'm allowing my balance to be what it is, and today it's not amazing. So I'm just gonna really bring this down a little bit so that I don't actually fall on camera. And if I do, I'm gonna allow that, you guys. I don't edit out mistakes. I want you to see. I want to model for you what it's like to allow yourself to be imperfect. I think that this is really important for people to see. So often we get exposed to videos of people doing everything perfectly and having perfect balance and perfect bodies and perfect teeth and perfect hair and perfect everything. And you're like, oh, I'm supposed to look like that. No. Oh my gosh, no. You're supposed to look like you. You're supposed to make your mistakes. You're supposed to be exactly who you are. Allowing that means hearing that you have resistance to that. It means hearing that you have thoughts that say, I should, I have to. Here we go with around the world kicks. I'm gonna stand on my left foot. Kicking forward, kicking out to the side, kicking to the back. If you would prefer, you can tap. You never, ever, ever have to do what I do. I do request that you practice your balance. Really think about bringing that balance up into your abs, into your glutes. Think about pulling in that core, unclench your toes. Really thinking about what part of your body is doing this work means actively requesting your gluteal muscles, your booty. Here we come back to walking. Requesting your booty to not even squeeze. It's not that you're squeezing your glute like you're trying to, squeeze some juice out of it or something. You're simply allowing the work to come all the way up. Your body will very naturally do this work wherever it's going to do this work, and for most of us that's down in your foot. That's what we think about the work is. If you're standing on one foot, you're thinking about your foot. But if you ask your body to bring the work up and really think, okay, I'm pulling in my core, I'm squeezing my glute in a way that brings the work to it without squeezing and locking my knee and making the whole thing worse, but I'm asking those parts of my body to do the work instead of simply allowing my body to do what it would normally do. Your body is always going to aim for efficiency and not necessarily effectiveness. You have to ask your body for effectiveness. You don't have to ask for efficiency. Your body's always going to do, here we go, around the world kicks on the other side, kick, and kick, and kick. And by the way, the next time it beeps is the last time it's going to beep. This is our very last thing. Feels so good to end on this beautiful note of balance. I am allowing my balance to be exactly what it is. Bring that work up. Move slower if you need to. Make smaller movements if you need to. Hang on to something if you need to. My friend, there is no have to here. This is you allowing yourself to be exactly where you are. Wherever that is. Maybe it's not perfect. Probably not perfect. Let's go and do some arm circles. I've been exercising really regularly over 15 years now, and I'm nowhere near perfect. I don't think there's such a thing, and I don't think it's what I'm aiming for. I am aiming to stay on my feet as long as I can. I'm aiming to feel as good about my body as I can in any given moment. I am allowing myself to not always feel amazing about that. And because I do, over time, want to feel amazing about my body, want to feel amazing about all the changes that come, all of them, even the ones that seem hard, even the ones that seem sad, even the ones that seem like I can't bear it. I want to be okay with them. I want to allow things to happen in my life because they do all the time. my friends, thank you so much for working out with me today. I know this one got heavy, like I said. Let's go ahead and open it up. Oh my gosh. And I think we could all use a nice big hug. Pat on your sweaty back. You did a great job today. You're doing such a good job allowing this process to be what it is, allowing yourself to be a mess in the middle of it, allowing yourself to have resistance thoughts and allowing thoughts. Letting it all be part of your experience is the experience. You guys, thank you so much for working out with me today. I appreciate it so much. Make sure you click that subscribe button before you go, and I'll see you tomorrow.